All right, everybody, let's take our seats. Believe it or not, it is after 7 p.m. Hello, everyone joining us online. Let's begin with a nigun. Yeah. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh, hayom, Shabbat Shalom, ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom, ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. It was a beautiful day out today. I hope everyone was able to enjoy it. I know that last week I promised you Rabbi Glasser was going to be here this evening. She did return from New York. Unfortunately, she returned with an unwanted visitor, a little COVID. And I have permission to share with you, because of course, Rabbi was vaccinated and boosted. So she's okay, she's doing well, it's cold symptoms, she's gonna be fine, and she'll be back to us as soon as she's no longer contagious. But it is an important reminder for us that even though we've had all of the coverage that is available to us, it is still possible to get it, and it is still possible to pass it along to those who are more vulnerable than we are. So, Rabbi Glasser, if you're watching us, we say Shabbat Shalom, and Shabbat Shalom. And I won't be with you next Friday night, but next Friday night, Rabbi's gonna join you on Zoom, next Friday night and Saturday morning. All right, so you've got me this evening. Let's have a wonderful Shabbat, and we'll keep that moving by kindling our Shabbos lights, and Margaret Laurero is gonna come up and help us. Let's turn to page 3.
Source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take words we shall speak into our hearts and life. Bless all who enter in this sanctuary in it, all who bring the offerings of their heart. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Let's all join together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של השבת. Thank you, Micah. Shabbat Shalom. And let's all turn over now to page 6. We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanders, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Let's continue together. Now we, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer. So let us turn over to pages 20 and 21 for Lecha Dodi, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. If you're used to it, you know, but just in case you're new, those are our verses. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Shabbat nikabla, Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ishani anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad v'shemo echad, L'shimu tiferet v'lichila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabla. Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabla. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelecha, ki hi mekor habracha. Merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tchila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Shabbat nikabla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabla. Hitoreli, kiva orech u'miori, uri shirta beri, yivur Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabla. We rise for verse 9 and face the rear. Bo'oi l'shalom ateret ba'ala, gam b'simcha ובסהלה, תוך אמוני עם סיגולה, remain standing and turn over to page 28. We continue reading together at the top of page 30. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma poteach she'arim, uvitvuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim, b'mishrotehem barakia kirtsono. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uvein layla. Adonai tzvaot shemo. El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. And let's read together in the middle of page 32. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Let's be seated, and we join together on page 36 in the words of Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Continue the middle of page 39. Let us read responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Mi chamocha, page 40. Mi chamocha, ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha, nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilo, oseh eleh. Mi chamocha, ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha, nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilo, oseh eleh. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. Malchutecha ra'u v'necha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze li'anu, anu v'yamru. Malchutecha ra'u v'necha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze li'anu, anu v'yamru. Adonai Melech le'olam va'ed. Who is like you? Adonai. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. Who is like you? page 42, you find our prayer, Hashkivenu, the prayer asking God for protection and safety throughout the night. And of course, for Sukkot Shalom, a sukkah of peace, to bring us peace, to calm our souls, to calm our worrying, at least for the evening. And our song is going to begin in the indented paragraph towards the bottom of the prayer. Ushmor tseitenu uvoenu, nechayimu shalom me'ata va'ad olam. Guard our coming and going, to life and to peace evermore. Ushmor tseitenu voenu, lechaim u'shalom, me'ata ve'ad olam, me'ata ve'ad olam, me'ata ve'ad olam. At the top, Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, leChamitenu Shomrenu leChaim, U'Paros Aleinu Sukkot Shelomecha, me'ata ve'ad olam, me'ata ve'ad olam, me'ata ve'ad olam. Ushmor tzeitenu, ushmor tzeitenu uvoenu, lechaim u'leshalom, me'ata ve'ad olam, me'ata ve'ad olam, me'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, leChamitenu Shomrenu leChaim, U'Paros Aleinu Sukkot Shelomecha, me'ata ve'ad olam, 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 me'ata ve'ad olam. Top of page 44, we find Vishamru reminding us to keep Shabbat, that is a gift to us throughout the generations. Vishamru, Vishamru, B'nei Yisrael, et HaShabbat, et HaShabbat, la'asod et HaShabbat, le'dorotam merit olam. Let's do that chorus again. Vishamru, Vishamru, B'nei Yisrael, et HaShabbat, et HaShabbat, la'asod et HaShabbat, le'dorotam merit olam. Beini u'bein b'nei Yisrael, orti le'olam. Beini u'bein b'nei Yisrael, orti le'olam. Vishamru, Vishamru, b'nei Yisrael, et HaShabbat, et HaShabbat, rise together for the tefillah, beginning on page 46. Adonai, sefartai tiftachu fi tehillatcha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avoteinu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Rekodei Hakol, Rezocher Chasdei Havot ve'imot, Umefigu el alivnei v'neihem, Leman Shemo be'ahava. Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atah rav lehoshia. Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem. Mechakel chayim b'chesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofei cholim, U'matir asurim, U'mekayem emunato lishenei afar. Mi chamocha ba'al givurot, u'mido melach, melech mimit u'mechayer, u'matzmiach Yeshua, v'neman atah l'hachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom yahallelu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Let's be seated. We'll read together at the top of page 55, and then we're going to take a few moments of silent prayer. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Please join with me on page 60. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Yitzhak Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Yitzhak Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov v'necha levarech et amcha Yisrael v'chol het uv'chol shah Yishlom lecha. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. 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 Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. We take a moment now to turn our thoughts to those who are in need of healing. Healing of the body, healing of the soul. Our Misha Berach prayer can be found on page 253. Misha Berach Avotenu v'imotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu Yivarech et Cholim. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all those who are ill. Our congregational family is especially thinking of Carol Babcock, Donna Berlin, Ronald Berlin, Rosalie Teddy Bono, Marilyn Burgay, Fran Coffey, Harold Cohen, Tom Davis, Susan Derby, Devorah Bat Rachel, Helene Edwards, Sarah Fabian, Art Fields, Beverly Fruit, Mehmet Goons, Jesse Halpern, Margaret Hare, Stephen Harlan, Mary Hartman, Helen Hill, Barry Kaufman, Robert Kay, Andrea Mitchell, Tina Naper, David and Laura Osofsky, Bert Peters, Buddy Pollock, Steve Posner, Jean Posen, Randall Rout, Marlene Reb, Sandra Reznikoff, Toby Ringel, Alex Rosin, Adele Shamban, Judy Shea, Ruthie Silver, Alan Smith, Nicholas Sobek, Barbara Strindberg, Judy Van Gorder, Caroline Wenk, David Weston, Marla Stein Johannes. And of course, we will add to those names all of those names that you would like to share this evening as I come around the room.
Jenny Barrett Rayland, Nell Yarl, Radine Mayo, Cassie Knight, Lily Vick, Madeline Rios, Jim Taven, Donnie Lang, Steve Calabro, Kaylee Foss, Eve Foss, and patients of Kindred Hospital.
May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion, for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say, Amen. And we join together in the middle of the page. Mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Mikor habracha avoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. And while Rabbi Glasser may not be here this evening physically, she is with us in spirit, and she sent us some words this evening. So I do have a Devar Torah that Rabbi sent to me just yesterday to be able to share with you this evening. Thank you so much, Rabbi Glasser. There is a scene towards the end of the classic Disney movie, The Lion King, in which the main character, Simba, now a fully grown lion, is talking to his wise baboon friend, Rafiki. Years ago, Simba ran away from home after he witnessed the death of his father, King Mufasa. And he's now anxious about returning to take his rightful place on the throne. I know what I have to do, Simba reflects, but going back means that I'll have to face my past. I've been running from it for so long. In response, Rafiki smacks Simba's head with his walking stick. Geez, what was that for? Simba yelps. Rafiki answers, it doesn't matter. It's in the past. Yeah, but it still hurts, says Simba. Oh yes, the past can hurt, Rafiki replies. But the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it. He then swings his stick at Simba's head again, and this time, the lion ducks. Rafiki laughs with glee. Ah, you see? So what are you going to do? Simba tells him, first I'm going to take your stick. This week in our Torah, we're moving forward in time to the book of Exodus, or in Hebrew, Shemot. Years ago, like Simba, the Israelites left their home. They moved to Egypt on Joseph's advice in order to survive years of famine. And this week, we begin the next chapter of the journey in which a new Pharaoh comes to power, a ruler who does not know Joseph. He does not learn from the past and fears the presence of the Israelites in his kingdom. His ignorance leads to a dark chapter of slavery in our history, starting with what we read this week. The jump from one book of Torah to the next, from Genesis to Exodus, causes our people's story to skip over many generations. This makes it easy not just to run from the past or learn from it, as Rafiki says to Simba, but to forget it entirely. We even see Pharaoh doing exactly that as he pays no attention to where the Israelites have come from or why they are there, and simply sees them as the other. Without context, he has no way of getting to know them or remembering that one of their people saved his country from years of hardship. However, our Torah provides us with a way to not forget the past, even through a big leap in time. This parsha begins with Shemot, names of our ancestors. This beginning ensures that we cannot forget that our story has a foundation and that we continue to have context for where we have been. Before we completely skip ahead to the future, to the Pharaoh who has no interest in the past, and to our lives as slaves, the Torah starts the second book with a reminder of what and who has come before us. Ve'ele shemot b'nei Yisrael haba'im Mitzrayma et Yaakov ish uveto ba'u. And these are the names of the children of Israel who came to Egypt with Jacob, each coming with his household. Then, where the text could merely mention Jacob and his sons offhand, it continues and lists out each of them: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan and Naphtali, Gad and Asher. Every word in the Torah is significant, which emphasizes the importance of these names. These names become the 12 tribes of Israel from whom future generations descend. These names remind us that the chapters of our narrative don't happen in isolation, but are deeply connected. Tonight, as we begin a new book of the Torah, we also begin the week leading up to a new year, a new part of our story. As we approach January and think about all of the potential and possibility that 2022 holds, it could be easy to, like Pharaoh, simply forget the past and focus on the future. It could be easy to attempt to jump ahead in time without really reflecting on where we've been. However, as Rafiki reminds us, though the past can hurt, we can either run from it or learn from it. We don't want to continue to get hit with a walking stick. Being mindful of the past can help us use our experiences to grow and become more capable of overcoming challenges. The previous chapters of our story, whether personal, communal, or national, are all important. Rather than events that have happened in isolation, they are a foundation for us that we can use to face what lies ahead. Our past is an integral part of our present and our future. We can't move forward without it. Even the grammar of the first word in the book of Shemot, ve'ele, emphasizes this point and demonstrates the powerful connection between each piece of the story. The prefix ve in Hebrew is a conjunction that means and. Though it is the first word of the first verse of a new book of Torah, the word is not ele, these, but ve'ele, and these. Rather than acting like the beginning of something completely new, the first word we see in the book of Shemot shows that the story is essentially picking up exactly where Genesis left off, despite the plot moving forward as a new chapter starts. Before we can continue our journey, the Torah reminds us of where we left off. Even its grammar links us to the events that came before. The 18th century commentator Ora Chaim writes about the word ve'ele, that it's employed to show continuity with the people who had preceded Jacob's sons. In this instance, the preceding people were Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, all of whom were outstandingly righteous. His interpretation shows that the conjunction "and" does not merely link two pieces of our story together, but all of the pieces and all of the generations. It is a reminder that we are inextricably intertwined with those who came before us. It is a reminder that our actions in the present matter, since they too are part of the plot moving forward. It is a reminder that we will one day be the previous generations that people write about, and we also want to be known as outstandingly righteous. As we enter 2022, we may be tempted to forget the past or run from it. I'm sure that each of us has hurtful memories from this year. I'm sure that there are actions we took, events that occurred, and emotions that we felt that we'd rather not reflect on. Instead, I invite you to remember the "the" and see 2022 not as a clean slate, but as a piece of a continuing narrative joined together by "and." I invite you to think about 2022 as the next part of your story and our story, the story of this country and the world. I invite you to learn from the past so that the pain you experience can help you to navigate whatever challenges lie ahead. If we choose to forget getting smacked with a stick, we won't know to duck or take the stick away next time. If we only focus on the future without attempting to learn from the past, we risk being like a Pharaoh who did not know Joseph and caused extreme pain for others. Just as there is not a clean break between Genesis and Exodus, the years of our lives are profoundly intertwined. Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, our God and God of all the generations who came before us. May you be present for each member of this community as we embark on a new year. May you help us to use our pain and experiences to learn from the past so that we can grow. May you strengthen us this year so that we too can be outstandingly righteous and be the shemot, the names that become an important part of the story. Amen. Thank you, Rabbi Glasser. Thank you. All right, so we're going to turn towards the conclusion of our service. Let's head over to page 282 and rise either in body or in spirit for Aleinu. Please be seated. And it is my pleasure to invite to the Bima our President of the Board of Trustees, Miriam Greenhut.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. So I am going to warn you that I forgot my reading glasses tonight, so I might have to step away a little bit to actually see the announcements, but I'm going to do my best.
We can play Mad Libs.
It wouldn't be the first time. So thank you, everybody, so much for being here tonight. And I also want to add, before I begin the announcements, for everyone here and at home who participated in our mitzvah program this morning, whether you baked, whether you helped cook and package meals, whether you delivered to fire stations or individuals, thank you. It was a fabulous program. It was so good to see everybody here working together for the community, and I just wanted to make sure to specifically express my gratitude for all who participated in any capacity. In your worship pamphlet tonight, you will find a complete schedule for our upcoming Shabbat services. Please note that next week it's New Year's Eve, and we have a slightly different schedule. Our services will be held on Zoom. We will start at 5 o'clock with a Zoom social hour, with services beginning at 6 o'clock. And the Temple Times this week will have the Zoom link for those events. Starting January 19th, Rabbi Glasser and Gonen Arad will be leading an Exploring Judaism group. These sessions are open to the public at no cost, so please spread the word and refer to your worship pamphlet for more information. We have many exciting things coming our way in the new year. Please see our Temple Times. I know we get a lot of email to you, but please take the time to read as much as you can, because we are working at building and rebuilding, and there's a lot of good information there. So please help us all get together and stay informed. And Shabbat Shalom. Cannot wait to see you again soon, and thank you for being here.
The bottom of page 291. The beautiful poem by Hannah Senesh called Yesh Kochavim. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. Page 293. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. Members of our congregational family are still observing the period of Shloshim for Adele Cohen, Bernice Tepper-Perrin, and Alvin Levine. In this Shabbat, we mark the yahrzeit for Robert Armel, Lorraine Ash, Lieutenant Sidney Burke, Samuel Berlin, Emmanuel Mon Bloomfield, Pearl Cohen Brenner, Jenny R. Brown, Morris Samuel Brown, Bernard Jack Cohen, William Herman Dorman, Ida Dubb, Eli Harry Fink, Tekla Foster, Glenn Goldberg, Herbert Goldberg, Miriam Greenberg, Minnie H. Hildenbrandt, Dee Levine, Clara Liebman, Jack Markowitz, Joan Marin, Jack Nebrat, Mary Davidson Newman, Alexander Osinski, Herbert Pankin, Ruth Patel, Viola Levy Richard, Edward Simeon Rubin, David Sanders, Hyman Selber, Aaron Sharman, Rosella Rose Schiff, Seal Shostak, Francis Simon, Irene Wedlis Stanley, Martin Tabak, Rebecca Tucker, Brent M. Turbo, Harvey Weil, Ron Weil, Rabbi Carrie Yales, Ann Young. And if you have a name to add to our list this evening of someone you are remembering, please go ahead and share that name with us now. Thank you, David.
Judy Mayo, Lois Vick, David Weintraub.
Thanks, Tom. Go ahead. Thank you, Steve. So for all of those whom we name aloud, those we hold in our hearts today and every day, let's rise together as a community to extol God's name through the words of the Kadishya tome, page 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, v'yalma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alamul almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yithalev v'yithalal shemei dekudsha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen. Let us be seated. Before we join together in Kiddush and Motzi, a word about oneg this evening. It'll be more of a to-go neg this evening. Our entire staff had off today, so we have just a little thing in the lobby for us to share, and we'll be able to spend a little bit of time together, but that way we're not making a big mess. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to be leading Torah study beginning at 9, and I'm going to be taking us on a little bit of a journey, thanks to Rabbi Sari Laufer, who had this material on Sefaria, the program that I use. But it's an exploration of more Shemot, names. We're going to delve a little bit into the names that we find in the story of Moses' beginnings. And the names of Moses himself. It's very interesting, and if you're up, awake, not usually coming to Torah study, come. We have a very good time, 9 a.m. Let's join together in the Kiddush if you need the words. They are on page 5. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav liratzanu. V'shabbat kodsho me'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim Kivanu v'acharta v'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uv'ratzon hinchatanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. I'm just uncovering the challah. I will bring it out into the lobby with us in the plastic. I'll rip. I'm getting very good at it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. We're going to conclude our service this evening with the words of Oseh Shalom, the Debbie Friedman melody that I know we all love to sing. Let's join together. Oseh Shalom b'romav, u'yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael yimeru amen. Oseh shalom b'romav, u'yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael yimeru amen. Oseh shalom b'romav, u'yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael yimeru amen. Oseh shalom b'romav, u'yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael yimeru amen. Shabbat shalom.